Welcome to Live at 12:45. I'm Kristen Bomas, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. We're going to ask the question and look at the one thing people more often than not do to take care of themselves. And I want to thank Barbara and Cynthia and Valentina all for participating by answering the question. And it looks like, people stay very health-oriented with taking care of themselves. And I find that to be fascinating. I wonder how much of that is cultural to this culture, to the United States. So why did that question come up? It comes up with people all the time. I get asked that constantly. What do you do to take care of yourself, Kristen? And it's like, I do several things to take care of myself. So the question is, what does everybody else do? And do we even think about it? This life is yours. No one else's. It was gifted to you. And so if we aren't taking care of our own life and our own self, no one else will. And that's the truth and the seriousness of the situation. So how do we allow ourselves to look at our lives and start to depict those areas where we could do a better job taking care of ourselves? So it can be as simple as Barbara and Cynthia and Valentina all talked health issues. It could be the way you eat and staying on top of your diet, your healthy diet. It could be really advocating for your health and your health issues. It could be really attending to a more of a preventive stance for your health. It could be anything like that regarding health. But it can be so much more. Because our health is also a residual of the balance we have within. And so in this life, there are many stressors that can affect us. And in all of those, we want to find a balance. And that balance begins on the inside of us. And so it's on the inside that we begin, as you always hear me say, with the experience, right? What is it that we wish to experience? And then it's from that place that we birth the external experience that we're having. So we want to begin inside. Nobody mentioned their emotions, which I find fascinating. On anywhere that we posted the question, no one said anything about their emotional health. And in this country in particular, we poo-poo emotional health. But our emotional health and well-being is by far the most important, because if in fact we are out of sync on that energetic level, then everything else is out of balance. It's kind of like there's a vibration that happens. It's either in sync, so everything just moves with the vibration, and that's the healthy, emotional, spiritual balance within, or it's out of sync, and everything starts to kind of jostle apart because there isn't a balance. So we may think about the food from the external that we're putting in. We may think about the exercise that we're doing to do the physical body. We may think about the health issues that are already there. But what about that stance, that emotional stance? And maybe it's the emotional health that we're advocating for. But what about that emotional stance? And why aren't we saying, and why aren't we talking more openly about what we do to take care of ourselves? One thing I do every single day is at the end of the workday, I have what I call, for lack of a better term, my stopping time. And I make sure that I transition out of the work and into play. And that play could be anything. It could be as simple as sitting at home and reading a book. It could be going out and having a great time. It could be anything. But I transition from work to life, from work to play. Even on Saturdays, if I have a list of things I have to do, whether it's errands or working in the yard, doing whatever, hobbies, whatever they are, but they're also work, I shift. When I'm done with that task, I shift into relaxation, fun time, lifetime, living time. And so that's one thing I do. I also do little other things to take care of myself. Like I take care of my nails. That's a standing appointment for me. Why? Because I enjoy the woman who does my nails and the one who does my toes, my fingers and toes, I call it. And I enjoy the company they keep. And I enjoy taking care of myself that way. I have a standing appointment for a massage. What do we do like that? How do we take care of our nurture and nourish that self, that body, that being inside? What do we do? So think about those things. What are you doing for you? And again, if it's taking a walk because you want to be outdoors, if it's sitting outside because you want to be there, or sitting inside, having a cozy place inside to which you go and just unwind, but really finding that internal space, that internal balance where you feel the comfort of your own self. So that's the biggest piece. How do we take care of that inner self? And I'd like for each and every one of you to think about that and really think about your emotional, spiritual well-being. What do you do to nourish and nurture that? Certainly we do it for everybody else, especially if you're a parent, you find yourself doing it for your kids, but what you do for your kids, do you also do for yourself? And that's a very critical piece of our lives. You know, we really do take care of others before we take care of ourselves. But like they say on the plane, put the mask over your own mouth first before helping the person next to you. And so I offer each of you the opportunity to think about that. What are you doing to take care of yourself first so that you are healthy, strong, and ready to take care of life and those around you? So I thank each and every one of you for joining me today on Facebook Live, and I look forward to seeing you this Thursday as we answer the question, do you find it easy to take care of yourself? If not, why? And if so, why? So we will then look at that aspect of taking care of self on Thursday. Please be sure to visit my YouTube channel and check out the Speak Your Truth podcast that we have there, as well as the Little Christianisms. And on Instagram, where we have Mantras on the Go, as well as a new TV on Instagram, where you can find some meditations and more. We're going to start to play around with that TV show, so please, let's make sure that you join us for that as well. Again, thank you so much for being with me today, and may each of you find time to take care of you in each and every day of your life.